In 1984, English goth rockers 13th Chime recorded material for what would have been their first long player, but it ultimately came out a quarter century later, simply titled The Lost Album, and from this would have been Masterpiece, the track Two as a Couple. Already that kind of like avalanche of percussion over kind of a really crude opening searing riff. A few acts are coming to mind, but I'm thinking of early Adam and the Ant, like Dirk Wears White Socks era, the original lineup. Yeah, kind of crude, but really rather complex. Sort of a Marshall tinge in the okay, hinting at that in the percussion. A tribalistic hint that I shouldn't be giving that much away. Slightly kind of unsteady guitar, like no, like. This kind of like frenetic way of playing guitar that seems to be more about moving the elbow, but keeping the wrist locked. It's like, characteristic. It was a technique that I think that Joy Division seemed to use a lot. Like I can kind of feel it in a lot of their music anyway. Although this reminds me more. This is a bit more kind of in the Killing Joke, Adam and the Ants type, early Ants thing. And the vocals already are recalling early, like, art punk Adam Ant. Life is short and life is sweet. Life is short and life is sweet, and should be lived in the best possible way. You hear that xylophone? Wow, I like the band's sense of musical color. Basically just variations in E with a few notes tossed around. That was interesting. A move from E to A to A flat or G sharp. Oh, now that's a great break right there. Yeah, the riff kind of like dropping out, the guitar kind of dropping out for a moment, letting kind of a bass lick come in. The drummer doing this interesting like syncopation with a bit of like hi-hat.
The Punch and Judy show in the evening. So we went and had free love in the back of the car. I got my beads caught up.
Like kind of like radio voice speaking, kind of over ad-libbing.
Bondage indeed.
Multiple kind of like chatter over, kind of like faint chatter over this almost like kind of like sound collage type midsection. I like that boom boom, that bass line that goes really high, boom boom. It actually kind of reminds me of a bass line in that song by X-Ray Specs, the title track to Germ-Free Adolescence, where it goes boom boom at the beginning. Such a crazy time. that xylophone.
Should be lifting the best possible way. We're on impulse on the results. We're having such a lovely time.
I'm afraid the lyrics aren't praying anywhere, but I kind of wish that that xylophone had a moment in the spotlight during the midsection. Oh well, now we're getting a bit of collision of notes here. Yeah, the bass is starting to corrupt whatever semblance of a key of. Okay, that was 13th Chime with Two as a Couple. Yeah, a band that really had kind of a very musical take on a really dark, dirgy style. Had certain complexities in them, you know, like in the would change it up, you know, but like rather than just play kind of like the same monotonous, dirgy pattern throughout the piece, would you know, like have like these breaks, these bridges where, you know, there would be dropouts and trade-offs between instruments, and like of like the three instrumentalists in the band anyway. Each one, you know, was trying his best to, you know, get his notes in or get his licks in, and it was that musical side of the band that I guess this band was endorsed by Tony McPhee of the Groundhogs. Yeah, in case you were wondering, what was he up to during this time period? He, I guess he was like their benefactor, yeah, for a time or something. Anyway, let's hear another track from the Lost album. Sarah's Got a Chainsaw. Well, the chainsaw has often been used as a comparison for raw, distorted guitar tones. And as a matter of fact, guitar distortion was originally viewed as an attempt to make the guitar mimic the sound of a chainsaw. And I can't think of many examples though where the chainsaw sound has actually been appropriated into a rock song. It's got that way of singing, kind of like these open syllables, like really raw, kind of almost like allowing himself to slur and not really even caring. Kind of like early. There was some of that in like early Adamant.
That's why she's dead. But Peter Pan didn't like it. But Peter Pan didn't like it.
It might be his regional accent. This band was from Haverhill, Suffolk. Yeah, some of you might know might know what kind of voice that would. Those drum rolls and the open kind of those sustained bass line over those really hyperactive drum rolls. I really appreciate how the drummer really throughout both the pieces we've heard has made an effort the entire time to really be noticed and not just because a lot of well, let's just say a lot of goth and or punk oriented stuff. The drummer kind of merely just kind of kept the beat, or like played like in the case of punk, played like a polka tempo, or in the case of some of the sludgier, more ethereal stuff, excuse me, would play kind of like a maybe kind of like a dragging, kind of metronomic tempo. But this guy's like really just trying to be heard all the time, just putting a lot of fills in. I think we ought to meet the players on this. Yes. Vocals, Mick Hand. Guitar, Gary O'Connor. Bass, Terry Taylor. And drums, Ricky Cook. I'll check to see if these guys did anything else. I'm kind of doubting it, but.
That's why she said, but Peter Pan didn't like it. But Peter Pan didn't like it.
Peter Pan didn't like it, eh? Like the guitar is just like really ringing through, really just laying it on kind of thick throughout. But what's really pulling my ears along is the activity of the bass and the drums. Yeah, they're both like the bass is playing a lot of notes, kind of in tandem with the drum rolls. They're just rolling throughout this, and really, and it's really kind of like the bearings, you know, that surround the riffage. And then there are times like that where the bass just kind of swells up, goes like. And the vocals, of course, have that kind of remoteness about them, somewhat due to the limitations of the production, I guess. Maybe the production is why this album. I don't know what label was planning on releasing this, but yeah, this band put out a few singles between 1981, 82, thereabouts, and then recorded this album like circa like 83, 84 in thereabouts. The exact date is unclear, but their first few were like self-releases, so I don't know if this may have ultimately been rejected due to the roughness of its production at the time, but it has its own charm. I could even see Adamant doing lyrics kind of like these. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there was that section we just heard, was reminding me similar, almost kind of like a sister song to one track in particular on Directories White Sox. Now we're just kind of crusting in this like C minor kind of dirge right here with some ad-libbing. Sarah had a chainsaw. Yeah, I love that anthemic sequence right there where it goes from like a E flat and then drops it to D and then and then landing in G like that. Yeah, whenever you throw a sharp or a flat chord in, it gives a certain kind of elevation, a certain angularity that that more conventionally chorded songs don't typically have. Yeah, that was 13th Chime with Sarah's Got a Chainsaw, and before that, two tracks from the Lost album. There would have been 1984 album, I guess, that was ultimately released in 2009 on Sacred Bones. Yeah, yeah, 13th Chime, one of the finest bands. Well, judging by their image, I would say they definitely look goth. They've got the great hair and all, kind of Batcave image. But musically, the music in that scene could kind of, let's just say, it was mixed. But this band were one of the real quality bands. I vouch for them from a musical standpoint. You know, if you're looking for like goth that has, you know, like strong riffs, strong interplay, really musical interplay, tightness, and care for composition and counterpoint. This is one of the bands that I would recommend in that vein, along with 1919. Another band that never put out an album in their own time, but a bunch of singles during the early 80s. Enough material for like 2 great albums, yeah, during that time period. Let's see, the Skeletal Family, and there were like a few from that time period. Let me. The Snake Corpse and Ausgang, yeah. Anyway, for more Rubies and Sapphires from the 13th Chime Lost album, as well as from their singles compilation compiling their 1981 to 83 short player output, see the directory of albums by English numerical artists linked in the description below for Red Hot Tracks and Purples from all of the English bands that cannot be ordered alphabetically, but they appear right in front of the alphabet. They appear right at the front of the alphanumeric directory, you know, as simply a number sign. Yeah. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the 2 tracks we just heard. The interplay, the riffage, the intensity, the sonic qualities and character and charm, and the lyrics, if you have any observations, if you understood them a bit better than I did as, you know, the tracks were playing. Yeah. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air travel trimaximalist, signing off.